Oh yeah. I forgot.
Let's
how it goes
twist
now.
again. Come on, like we did last summer. Okay, come on.
Yes. Twist again. Right. Yeah. Anyway. Anyways.
It's like you weren't born in an age where that song was super popular. Ah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was. And
Come
yeah,
on,
that's what
let's
we
do
used to
the
play at my
game. Let's do
elementary.
the game. Come on.
Okay. You can sit here talking to
Jesus
the mini
Christ,
screen.
yeah.
What is up, guys? And welcome to the Daily Deal. What are we checking out today?
Okay, today, hello everybody, we're doing Strike Suit Infinity. This game, this video could be really bad, okay? It depends. Okay, so...
Wow, you tell him that.
Yeah, I consider that this could be vengeance for me, though, okay? Because this, I think, is quite a complicated game, right? And I'm just going to throw you in the deep end here, because I've come across like a complete moron in a lot of different videos. So, we'll see how you do. I've got some extra fish, though, that we can fall back on. Strike Suit Infinity is a space combat game, okay?
Should I press start?
So, I'm gonna give you a choice, okay? I've warned you, it's a complicated game. The training simulator is reasonably long. Or you can just start game. It's up to you. This is your choice right now.
What would be better for them? I'm gonna go ahead and
Oh
strike
no,
game.
don't do that, because now it's like you're making the sacrifice for the viewers, but if it comes out bad. Alright, okay, so...
You sure? You sure? I could go
No,
back.
let's do it this way. Okay, so we've got the round selection screen. Loads of rounds. You've got up and down arrows at the bottom there, bottom left, which you can kind of scroll through. Obviously, round 1 is the only one unlocked right now. Ding, ding. This game is basically a score attack game. This is kind of like a mini version of a larger game called Strike Suit Zero, which was funded on Kickstarter in November and released in February or maybe even January. It was like a ridiculously short development period from when the Kickstarter ended. But then they released this kind of extra thing. This is our super cheap game for this week. Last week's super cheap game was amazing. This one's a little bit more expensive than the one last week. I'll edit the price on, I can't remember. But this game is pretty interesting. It's kind of a smaller version of Strike Suit Zero, which is also on sale too for about £7 as far as I'm aware. Which is a pretty good deal, I must say. The loading screens are kind of long, as you see. But once it's done, it's very arcadey. It's going to tell you, press any key to continue. And there, as you can see. So if you just hit any key, we will begin.
What is better, controller or
mouse and keyboard? So we're going to be using mouse and keyboard here. Something interesting though, when I played it, I noticed that it detected my Razer Hydra, which, if you guys don't know, is kind of a motion control thing I bought for when I get my Oculus Rift, which was a very cool idea. I think this game would work really well on a Razer Hydra. I just didn't set up a profile for it. It definitely does seem like the kind of game that would work well on like a joystick or something. It's, you know, it's a space combat game. There haven't been many of these recently, so it's kind of old school in some ways, I guess. But, you know, it did very well on the Kickstarter. They're kind of like trying to blend the best bits of many different space combat games. So I'm going to have to explain to you all of these controls. Okay, so you've got the tilt down. A and D tilts you. The mouse is allowing you to look around. If you hold W to go forward, you'll move slightly faster. And if you hold Shift with W, you'll boost, which will allow you to catch up to lots of different enemies quite quickly. This game isn't entirely centric on you as a unit. Basically, right now, it is simulating a full battle between allied and enemy forces. Like, full on, there's a whole battle going on right now. And as you...
and there's a circle.
Yeah.
That shows where to shoot.
Yeah. So, basically, as you're fighting enemies, you'll see, like, you'll catch on how to aim. I'll explain it again in a second.
Right, it like curves and you're supposed to hit them like that. I see it.
Yeah, like basically they'll give you a main crosshair and then there's a small dot just off to the front, which if you hover over with your mouse, it will turn the reticle red, and that's how you can hit enemies. It takes some while getting used to. This is kind of why I say it's kind of a tough game. It took me a while to get into it, but once I did, I was having a real blast. You know, it's quite a steep learning curve. That training simulator that you skipped actually just slaps it on you very thick. You know, it's almost as difficult as just jumping in as you currently have. So you just press spacebar and did something cool there, which try not to do it. I'll show you it again in a second.
Whoa.
But yeah. Okay, alright, I'll explain it. So press space. Press space. By pressing space, you transform into your strike suit. So it's not an entirely conventional space combat game. Like, it's got a twist. The main thing about this game and Strike Suit Zero 2 is you've kind of got this overdrive mode, which is where you transform into a strike suit where you just destroy stuff. Like, you are incredibly powerful. Can you see up at the top, Matt? You've got armor, shield, and flux there. Can you see?
Yeah.
As you shoot people, as you hit enemies, you'll gain flux, which can then be spent by going into strike suit mode, and shooting stuff in strike suit kind of expends your flux. So now you're out and you'll transform back when you shoot again. Okay? So listen, I need to tell you the controls. Right, so don't forget, holding left shift will help you to boost forward into various places while you're holding W, like you can boost around. Right clicking will fire missiles. You need to hold down right click with the default missiles, because you can customize your ship and stuff, which I'll explain once this round's over. So you can hold down right click and then let go after it's locked on. You'll hear the like dee -dee 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 noise, and then it will go. Is that working for you? Can you fire missiles? By right clicking?
There it is.
Yeah, okay. Well, they've got to be in sight for the full time while you're locking on. There you go, and now release. Okay, and most units, so now the missile's going after him, and it should chase him down, and can you see he's almost dead now? So if you just aim a little bit more, you got the kill.
There we go.
So all units in the game have got both shields that like recharge and armor themselves, just like you do. The red bar indicates their shield, and the white bar is their armor, which is very cool. You know, it introduces an interesting dynamic, basically, where you use your primary weapon to shoot out their shields and then maybe launch a missile to finish enemies off. But, you know, that changes as you progress through the game because you get different types of weapons. There's actually two different ways of like using primary fire in the game, and you can use X to kind of link or unlink that. And they're basically kind of rapid fire and then an alt fire, which expends your energy quicker, but will deal more damage.
Can I do like a barrel roll?
No, not like in Star Fox. You can hold like A or D, and you'll slowly roll around. But if you're asking that because you kind of want to evade missiles and stuff,
yeah.
There's two ways to evade missiles. So you have in the top right, you can see you've got energy and thrusters. Okay, energy is used to fire your weapons, while your thrusters are used to boost around. So if you just boost somewhere at the moment, just so that people can see, just hold left shift and W, and you'll boost in any direction. Okay, hello everybody, we're back. So we're going to be using mouse and keyboard. Wait, hold on, do you want to explain that you were using a controller before?
Yeah, I was using a controller because it defaulted to it.
Okay, alright, fair enough.
Definitely the mouse is better. Definitely the mouse and keyboard is better.
Which is interesting for a title like this because because it's so arcadey, you'd expect it to be good with some kind of, you know, a gamepad, or at least as you saw when we were changing the options just now, it suggests you to maybe use a joystick, which I think is quite interesting. I played the game on mouse and keyboard though, so like I know all the controls for that, and I can probably guide you better with that anyway. So yeah. Basically,
there goes the boost that I couldn't do before.
Yeah, so there's your boost by holding down left shift while you're moving around. The missile is right click. So left click will fire your kind of automatic weapons, and right click, by holding it down, you can lock on targets. Now, a big thing about this game is as you go from round to round to round, you can upgrade your ship, and you can change the kind of missiles you're firing and stuff, which should help you out quite a lot. So if you want to go into strike suit mode as well, I can show you sort of how devastating it is. If you hold down left shift while you're in strike suit mode, it will automatically target every enemy and constantly have you locked on. So all you have to do is hold down left shift and then just fire at things, and you will just destroy everything. It's a really fantastic, cool mode that allows you to get lots of combos. So kind of the premise of the game is that it's score attack. As I say, because this is kind of just a stripped down version, it's kind of the combat, just the combat, rather than like a story mode that Strike Suit Zero would offer, yeah. So basically, this is, you're going to go for, it's not infinite rounds, but you'll go further and further and further in, and like earn money and credits based on how well you do each round. And every round of the game consists of a certain number of waves of enemies that are going to come and attack you, and just generally it kind of ramps up and up and up and up. So in a bit we'll cut to some footage. I'll show you of kind of some higher level play, because you can get different ships and stuff, and all kinds of things. But yeah, so if you just go over to those guys and try and shoot them out, it's so much to take on board. I'm loving this, I really am. Yeah, so once you got a bit of flux, you'll notice as well, like the screen gets really busy, basically, like all kinds of stuff just kind of starts exploding on the screen, which is very cool. And when you get to the final wave as well, like you get some kick-ass music that does get a little bit old after a while, I guess.
It's cool. Space combat, I used to be into it a while back, but I don't know. Like, I'm more of a
non-space
Space Invaders type of guy. I'm more of a a shoot 'em up.
Oh right, okay. I thought you were trying to say just like a simple game, basically.
No. Okay. I like I like the 2D, and
So,
you can put a
if you
lot
have-
of cool stuff on the screen with that.
Alright, well, if you have a look at that big ship you were near just now, not that, the small guy, the guy behind you, you can use missiles to take out larger targets much quicker. So when you try and retarget that guy later, what you can do is hold down right click. So your targeting keys are R, F, and T, I believe. Of course, you can go to strike suit mode as well. Strike suit mode also has missiles. Strike suit mode allows you to fire missiles at multiple targets all at once, so you just like launch this massive volley barrage of missiles across basically the entire screen, and it just looks awesome. So there's that too.
Yeah.
This has got
Gundam Wing, man. This is Gundam Wing. It's pretty cool.
It's got really high production values. It really does. Okay, cool. So you finished round 1 here. Okay, but it doesn't work that all the rounds are kind of separate. Now, from completing that round, you're going to be scored and judged basically on how well you did for the first round. So here you got a D you got Ds across all the waves. Okay, so you can be ranked. Obviously, the better you do, you could get a C, a B, and A. There's also an S rank, which I've had a couple of times. It's interesting because sometimes if you save up lots of flux during, say, wave 1, you can just run over to the new wave of enemies in wave 2 and just strike suit destroy all of them in seconds, and then probably get yourself an S rank, which will give you score. Also, there's going to be bonus objectives during the round, which allow you to unlock different upgrades for your ship. And then you also come to this screen, which allows you to spend credits for reinforcements. So here you can see you can buy some interceptors, some fighters. As you go through the rounds, you'll see you can get bombers, frigates, cruisers, or even a carrier. Okay, and you can see how they incrementally increase in the amount of cost they require. Also, you see at the bottom, you can even upgrade your reinforcements. So you could spend 1,000 credits on getting some new fighters, or 1,500, and then you can maybe spend 2,000 on making the pilots better. Okay, now lastly, so there's a lot of customization as you can see as you come through these screens. Lastly, you can actually change the type of weapons you have on board on your own ship, and there are different strike suits you can get. So I'll be showing you guys one off in just a moment where like basically I have like a shotgun strike suit, which is really cool. So there's various different things you can do here. You can change the type of missiles you fire, so instead of kind of locking on and having to charge up, you can just like instantly launch them at different targets, which helps against larger ships, again, as I was explaining before.
Right.
You'll see that you've got 2 different types of guns. Yeah. I'll show you that as well, because there's like a regular fire and an alt fire while you're in game. You won't have much of this unlocked right now though, so just head on through.
Oh, okay, that's cool. All right.
It kind of pieces it out as you play through, but I think a big thing about this game is that because it is just kind of a smaller section of Strike Suit Zero, the tutorials are very heavy. I think it's very much kind of people are already experienced with the game, I guess, is maybe their audience here. So they give you a very simple, very basic training simulator that throws stuff at you just as quick as I am in this video. That really doesn't give you much time to kind of comprehend everything you're being told. Like, I've had to play through the training simulator twice, and even then when I started playing, it took me a while to get used to exactly what was going on. And like these sharp banks and things. Like, you shouldn't always be boosting forward, you need to stop and slow down, and that lets you turn a lot quicker. So if someone zooms past you like that guy just did, you can kind of hold back and then just swing around and keep on target. But it is
hold back. That works well, actually. There we go.
Exactly. It is a very good game for making you feel like a total badass when you get really good at it, and I guess that's the strength of space combat games. My experience with the genre, I've actually got a bit of experience with it. The main space combat game I played wasn't even like a pure space combat game, but it was a game called Mace Griffin Bounty Hunter on the PS2, which was a first-person shooter, but also had these long space combat sections, which were hard as nails, man. They were so difficult, but you got good at them, and I feel exactly the same on this game too. You know, I'm by no means very far in it. I've unlocked all 3 different types of strike suits you can get in the game, and I've not got incredible high scores. Like, this is available on Steam, and it will compare your high score to the high scores of your friends and things, so you can see kind of how you all match up. But it still feels like very, very strong, and I'm not doing too good on those boards, for example, but I've been having fun with it, definitely. It just takes a while to kind of ramp into it. Once you get used to the pacing of the fighting and kind of the strengths of it, and you can really feel yourself improving, and you know what kind of reinforcements you want. So you can see he just escaped. If you'd managed to kill him, in time, you could have got yourself an extra upgrade next round, so that might be a little bit more punishing next round.
Ran away from the war. Isn't that like punishable by death?
Well, those guys I don't actually think are participating. They're just like carrying enemy supply lines. So if you kill them, I guess the idea is you sort of get the supply, I guess, in a weird way. But yeah, you've kind of got on a very immediate kind of resource, you need to manage your armor. So your shields drop if you get hit by missiles, and then your armor's going to slowly go down. But if you survive the round, you also have more long-term resources you need to manage in the way of your credits and in the way of the upgrades you can get for your strike suits, and what kind of reinforcements you want to bring in based on the enemies. Yeah, so you can get combos, and that will help you get more credits at the end of the round, you see. So it feels really good blowing stuff up in the strike suit, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I mean, the game is called Strike Suit. You should be able to get in there a little bit more then.
Yeah, well, you can. I mean, if you look at your flux already, it's 50% again. For example, the other strike suit I'll show you in a bit, but it can move around a lot quicker, which is a very strong aspect of it. So, you know, you've got all these different things to be considering, which I guess it might be a little bit much when it first throws at you the game, but aside from that, once you get into the rhythm of it, I've been having a blast. The backgrounds, the different kind of environments you fight through in space. Sometimes you're in kind of high orbit of some kind of a gas giant. Sometimes you're way out in deep space. You get all these different nebulae you can see in the background. It's a very beautiful game, I must say. And it's got great sound design as well. Like in the menus, there's this woman that's like seductively whispering to you as like you're picking your next ships and stuff. She sounds kind of hot. It's pretty cool. It really is. Also, like there's plenty of options and things. You know, it's a very, very strong PC title, I would say. But yeah, do you want to try and finish this round, or do you just want to let you try and explain what you're doing for a bit?
I'm just shooting stuff. That's pretty much.
That's the game.
That is. And I'm about to die, it seems.
No. I think you're.
Let me get out of here. Yeah, I'm good. Woo.
Yeah. So don't forget
Shields
your strike suit can fire missiles too. There's another mechanic here as well. You'll hear a bleeping going like beep, beep,
yeah,
beep, 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 beep. Okay, and that's warning you that there are missiles being fired at you. And you can evade those missiles in two different ways. One, while you're in your strike suit. If you want to get into your strike suit, double tap in any direction, and you'll see you dodge left, right, up, down, and you can dodge forward as well. So you can use that to dodge a missile, or you can press left control, and that will send out an EMP blast. So there you go. Those are the strike suit missiles. Look at that. It's beautiful, isn't it? Combo 2, they just go nuts. Just fills up the whole screen.
Woo.
It's so artistic, it's brilliant. So the other thing you can do as well to dodge missiles is you can launch an EMP at the last second. So if you tap left control, you'll see it spends thruster energy, but it fires out that pulse there, and that will destroy all missiles that are close to you.
Oh, and their shields?
And their shields, maybe their shields too, I don't know. Did that just happen?
Let me see.
The tutorial only said that it would destroy missiles that are coming at you.
Okay, it looked like it did. Maybe I was just shooting someone.
Yeah. So there's lots of layers here. You know, you're going along, you're firing, you're trying to maintain your energy so that you don't start firing really slowly. You're trying to make sure your shields don't go down. You're trying to watch your flux to see when you can go back into strike suit mode. You're trying to watch how many missiles you've got left. And then at the same time, on top of all of this...
No! Are you kidding me? I was being boss!
That was right at the end of the round as well.
I was just killing everybody. Well, there you go.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, we'll cut to a tiny bit of footage of me on another strike suit, and then we'll wrap up the video. Yeah. Does that sound good? Okay. So we're back. Right. So this is footage from me here. This is not me playing live. I'm just gonna throw it out there right now. I could not play this live. And produce any kind of worthwhile commentary at all, I swear to God. But this is a couple of rounds in. I don't actually know which round. It's not too far in the game at all, though. As you can see, we're near some planet with... Like, there's great detail on the planets, too. You can see, like, ships flying around and stuff. The backgrounds just look really good. But I'm in a different ship here. This is this is the second ship that I unlocked. I do have the third one unlocked, too, but this is the second one. And this is a lot weaker. Like the shields will drop a lot quicker, but they also charge a lot quicker, as far as I can see. And we're a lot faster in this ship too. And the strike suit changes as well. Like you'll get different primary weapons on your strike suit. What you'll notice as well is I've got a lot of different allied forces going on around me. So here you go, I'm in strike suit. You can see how quickly I'm moving. That's because the primary weapon here is basically a shotgun on this strike suit. You're going to be shotgunning the head out of people, just like bang, 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 but you've got to be right next to them. So the dashes on this strike suit are a lot faster, as you can see, which allow you to dodge. You also see me doing a lot of kind of missile evasion and stuff.
Are you aiming? How are you locking on?
So in strike suit, I did explain this. Maybe you missed it. If you hold left shift in strike suit mode, it automatically aims enemies, so you can just rain like hell down on them, basically.
Ah.
Yeah.
That would have been helpful, definitely.
Yeah, well, it looked like you were doing it maybe for a little bit, perhaps.
Yeah, that was all mouse.
Wow.
But, do you go into more areas, or is this like the same place each time? Because it seems more of the same.
Well, do you mean like in terms of the backgrounds? There are definitely a lot of
Yeah.
different types of backgrounds. This is different to where we were at the start, for sure. Maybe the backgrounds here there's a little bit similar, but it is different for sure. It's a different area that we're in. The type of ships that you see change quite a lot as well, so I guess that's a big thing that adds to the variety of the game. Sadly though, like, you kind of get a choice. Do you want to buy like a massive capital ship or a cruiser? There's also a first person mode which I just tapped into for a second there, as you saw, which I found very hard to play. Mainly I think it was because of the low FOV, but you can change that in the options. I just didn't, so I didn't really.
Did you just run into the guy? Did you ram
No,
him?
I would hope not, because if you do ram people, which I've done many times, it automatically just destroys your shield, and the longer you keep ramming them, it will just break down your armor. It's not a wise move at all. We're actually going to end this little bit of footage with me running into a capital ship, so you can see. You can see I'm taking pretty heavy fire here. This is going to be the end of me. So, yeah, I'll let you say what you think of it. This has been very fast-paced, but go ahead, try and collect your thoughts.
It's definitely. I don't think it's for me, but
It's
like,
a fun game.
because like I said before, it's cool and all, but like I don't know. I used to be into like games like Ace Combat and stuff like that. Those were pretty fun, but I don't know. It's like more of the same for me. Like when it comes down to this type of stuff,
Right.
I get into games. I like mechs and stuff like this, but I usually get into stuff like Zone of Enders. Have you ever played that?
No, never.
That's the type of mechs I usually get into. It seems pretty cool, but I don't know. I don't know if this is necessarily like really like my type of thing. Definitely not. Like it's like, okay, you aim and you shoot, you aim and shoot, you aim and shoot. I guess as you get better at it, it gets, you know, hella fun.
Yeah,
but I don't want to spend the time to get to that, you know.
I think that a big part of it as well that adds that depth in is very much kind of the building your forces up and upgrading your ship as the rounds go by. I think that's what adds a lot of the depth to the game. But even though, you know, you say it's just shoot, 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 I've got to say, you know, there's a lot. So here's the carrier that we're going to end. So I'm going to run into this guy. You know, these are big targets which you take out by firing, like taking out the different missiles and things. So there's complexity there. I think there's certainly a lot going on. Yeah, yeah.
Whoa.
That was on purpose. I did kill myself on purpose with that, I promise you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did. That's okay.
Yeah,
man.
I did. Oh, well. Okay, so here's the game over screen. This is me being scored. And that's it, guys, really. This is Strike Suit Infinity. It's kind of a small, like just a standalone arcadey shooter version of the larger game Strike Suit Zero, both of which are on deal on Steam for this week. So feel free to check those out. Yeah, I'm glad you liked it, Matt. It's a good game. We'll see you next time, everyone.